Hello everyone, this is Sherwin here from TechOS, and today I'm going to give you my top 5 countdown for my favourite Apple launches this year, based on what I think of the various devices and services. But first I'll give you a quick recap of what went on in 2017 for Apple. This year, the first Apple event was WWDC in June, unlike the spring events being the first ones like in the past couple of years. This saw the usual announcement of Apple's next software versions, including watchOS 4, which adds more workout and fitness features, an expanded music experience, and new ways to enhance everyday moments. tvOS 11 introduces the new TV app for iOS, replacing the Videos app for a more complete video experience on iOS, as well as better AirPod support, Amazon Prime Video support, and a new automatic switch between a day and night mode for the interface. macOS High Sierra is an update which brings mostly background changes to make it a faster experience using the new Apple file system, but also adds features such as built-in Safari, ad blocking, and support for HVEC or H.265 video compression, Metal 2, and support for virtual reality headsets. iOS 11 brings many user interface changes, perhaps the most obvious ones being the new App Store, which gets a complete redesign to help make it look fresher and make it easier to discover and purchase new apps, and the redesigned Control Center, which brings everything from iOS 10 back onto a single panel. The iPad gets the most drastic changes, with an all-new dock, similar to the one in macOS, enhanced multitasking capabilities, drag and drop functionality within and across apps, and a new Files app for managing files, which is also available on the iPhone. The Apple Pencil is also more deeply integrated. The iPad line was also updated to include a new 10.5-inch iPad Pro, replacing the 9.7-inch model that incorporates a new ProMotion display featuring a 120Hz refresh rate for a very smooth image, and the A10X Fusion chip, which performs incredibly well. Although not announced at a keynote event, there is also a new entry-level iPad, which puts updated internals like an A9 chip into an iPad Air body and has the lowest starting price for a brand new iPad at £339. Big news regarding the Mac is the iMac Pro. The iMac Pro is, as the name implies, a more powerful version of the standard 27-inch iMac, with hardware designed to be taken advantage of by Apple's Pro customers, who may love the all-in-one iMac experience but need something even more powerful. At this event, Apple revealed a new product called the HomePod, which is Apple's entry into the smart speaker market. The HomePod promises a sound experience that will blow you away, as put by CEO Tim Cook, and has integrated Siri for easy control of your music, as well as the ability to ask Siri some other questions. In September, Apple announced the Apple Watch Series 3, which brings cellular connectivity to the watch, as well as improved performance and battery life. Apple TV 4K elevates the Apple TV experience by bringing support for 4K and HDR content. Then came the iPhone news. Firstly, there were the iPhone 8 and iPhone 8 Plus, which improve on the iPhone 7 by adding a glass design that allows for wireless charging, an improved camera system, and the usual performance increase. The big news for iPhone this year came in the form of iPhone X. The iPhone X is the biggest change to the iPhone since it debuted back in 2007. It introduces an all-display iPhone with a new 5.8 OLED display covering as much of the front of the phone as possible. It has a much improved dual camera system, which expands its AR capabilities, and it introduces Face ID, the Touch ID replacement that allows users to unlock their device by having it recognize their face. So let's begin my top 5 countdown, starting with number 5, which is the Apple TV. The Apple TV 4K really builds on the amazing experience created with the new Apple TV a couple of years ago, and means that users can now enjoy an even richer viewing experience in their homes. In fourth place for me is the new Apple HomePod. The HomePod is an interesting product from Apple that should be a really amazing device for people to have in their homes if it can really live up to what Apple says it can do. The device will be a great addition to many people's homes, especially as it's so well integrated with iOS, unlike any other smart speaker. In third place is the iMac Pro. The iMac Pro is Apple's way of showing that they still care for the professional market when it comes to desktop computing. It is really impressive how they have managed to cram so much power and capability into an iMac design that is basically identical to the previous ones. It will really enable professional users to work even more efficiently than they have ever been able to. In second place is iOS 11. iOS 11 adds some welcome improvements, including the revamped Control Center interface that allows for easier use of it, and the new App Store. The other smaller improvements are also great, but I think that iOS 11 is such a game changer because of the changes made to the iPad experience. The features from macOS that have now been implemented into a touch-friendly mechanic for the iPad is a brilliant way of making the iPad Pro more productive, especially with the iPad Pro, as it pushes the vision that Apple has about the iPad Pro being able to properly replace a PC. Finally, in first place is the iPhone X. This is an obvious winner for me because in my view it redefines what Apple originally set out to do with the iPhone. It changes the fundamental ways that you use the device, but at the same time is unmistakably an iPhone that anybody can pick up and use after a small learning curve. The core technologies built into this device really set the foundation for what the future of not just the smartphone, but all devices can and will be in the future. This is why it gets the spot of my favourite Apple device of 2017. So what is your favourite Apple announcement of 2017? Do leave a comment in the comments section of this video, as I'd love to know. I hope that everyone has had a great 2017 and is looking forward to 2018 and what Apple has to offer next year. Thank you very much for watching, have a happy new year, and I'll see you in my next video.